Oh, I think it worked.
Dude, you need a way to like tone, like, that just ends too abruptly. You should have like backing Metallica track throughout the whole
I should learn some type of editing.
Yeah.
Mark Curtis has nailed it. Harvester of Sorrow. Gabe Smith wants to know if he can auction the box off. The thumbnail, tonight's thumbnail is Becky's box.
And it's verified because there is a witness. I will witness that box was signed by the original. I'll make a certificate of authenticity.
You should do that. You should definitely do that. Tom Hollybay, hello, sir. Tim Larson, good to see you. Javier, hello, hello. Sonny, I actually have something to talk about you this evening. Not with you, but about you.
Oh.
Adam Hall, hello. Good to see all the folks that are cool in the stream already. Move this over to a different screen. There we go. And then over here, I will get my notes. So tonight's live chat is brought to you by Ammo Supply Warehouse, fine purveyors of freedom seeds or something of that nature. I can't remember how the phrase goes. Crystal, hello. Moderator at large. Aiden, hello, sir. Rich Wright. You can use the coupon code TREMIS10. That is TREMIS 10 over at Ammo Supply Warehouse for $10 off any order over $100.
Or you can use the code Bulletin11 at Ammo Supply Warehouse to get $11 off.
Fuck.
Yes.
I don't care which one you use. Makes no difference to me.
I did that on purpose. I was like,
no,
hey, Becker.
I can't imagine that.
You know, Gary has a $10 off coupon. I need an 11. Or
I'm gonna ask him for a $25 off coupon off of any order over $1,000.
It's still work out better than the original one.
Well,
because it caps at 10.
Yeah, I would say it's a lower percentage, but it's a much higher dollar value.
Yeah, well, that dollar amount slides. Like, if you the higher you buy. So,
well, I mean, if they get free shipping, they could just order the same thing over and over again and get $10 off of each order. If he's doing some sort of free shipping deal. If he's not doing a free shipping thing, that would not work out well for you.
I would, I would totally be okay with Sonny having a Sonny 12 code at Ammo Supply Warehouse. Crystal's going to be doing double duty tonight. There's no backup moderator to help her up.
Yeah. She got to do all of it, all the moderation.
All the moderation.
Well, since Sonny is in the house, I guess I can go down to my Sonny part of the notes. So in case all of you have not saw on the social medias, Sonny is going to be doing a weekly live stream on Tuesdays. And I want to say in my notes, it says that's at 8:30 Eastern time, which would be like 7:30 Central time, which is, I think, that's what he posted. Correct me if I'm wrong, since you're here in the comment section. Feel free to do so. I did see that you had filmed a test video. I saw it over on the YouTubes. I didn't watch it because it was obviously a test video. I did hit thumbs up just to help the algorithm and moved on. But that should be some good stuff. He's going to do multi-camera shit and have good audio and stuff. So that'd be pretty cool. I'll get to tune into something on Tuesdays.
That's pretty sweet.
And he says, I am correct, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. So there we go. That should get on everybody's weekly schedule.
If there's one thing I know for sure, is that the world needs more Sonny.
Yes.
Like all of it.
I concur. And Sonny, I will tell you this. I saw you were messing around with Restream for your streaming needs. Uh, Mike is an expert at it, so if you have questions about making something work, I'd ask him. I use it too, obviously, but I Mike's the guy.
Yeah, I did. We still have to get together so I could teach you how to use. What is the name of it is escaping me right now. The
OBS.
OBS, yes,
Yeah.
the OBS software for switching cameras. However, if he's switching cameras already, he's probably at that level. But
Well, I'm not at that level, and I have I don't have any other cameras set up in this room currently, but I own a bunch of other cameras, and I got this awesome stream deck, so I can do that, and swap things. And right now, the only thing I have is I have a button that can mute myself, and I can change the speaker volume of my playback from the stream deck, and I don't know what any of the other things do.
there's a bunch of buttons, and they do something.
Oh yeah, buttons and knobs and menus galore, and everybody said it works awesome with OBS and works okay with other stuff. So I was like, all right, I got to start using OBS, and I'm waiting on Mike to give me my tutorial.
I've been busy.
That's what I hear. Me too. Oh, Adam says everyone should pre-order Sonny's book, which reminds me I have to go do that.
I did. It's been pre-ordered.
Well, I have not, so that means I will do it. But is there a spot to make like notes in the order? Like most web orders, because I want it personalized. Like I'm going to need something written in it.
Oh, I should have asked for a personalized message.
I guess the good news is if we have the book in hand in August, August, when Sonny's here, we can just be like, here, write something clever in there.
I did get a signed copy of a book when I went to SHOT Show last year.
Oh, nice.
Not from Sonny. I got it from Paul Markle.
Oh, good deal.
Student of the gun.
Yep. I got a signed book, was it last year or the year before, from the lady that does all the Hollywood makeup and gave us the camo face paint.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. She gave me a copy of her book and signed it.
She was
Turtle. Hello,
awesome.
sir. Oh, look at that. Crystal put a link up to Sonny's book. This is what it's like to have a good moderator. Who knew?
A diligent one that actually pays attention and shows up
while she's baking.
All right. Rolls in a pie. What type of pie though, Crystal? Because that's important to know.
It is important to know. I could cancel this live stream and be at the pie probably before it's done cooking.
Nevitz, hello, sir.
That would be Steven.
Yes, Steven.
Steven. I don't know what the 794 is about.
Well, is that one backwards too? Is it 497 Steven?
Oh, it could be. Maybe it's his credit score. It's all right. We got that part done on the notes. Oh, I did. There's a reason that we have the thumbnail of the Midwest Industries box signed by yours truly. If you have bought or are going to buy a Tremis signature rifle, if you want the box signed, I'll sign the box, no matter how weird that is. But more importantly, for the duration of 2025, as long as I have some in my possession, if you show me a proof that you purchased the rifle, I will send you or hand you, if you're in person, I'm not going to be able to have it lit and get close. One of these adult dust covers for it. It's got a normal metal one, but I have all these Magpul ones. And like this one says like free thinkers are dangerous on the outside, and on the inside it says Tremis Dynamics, and I have some that are opposite. But as long as I have some, I will give you one and you can install it on your rifle.
Those are pretty sweet. That's a nice little add-on onto the first mod, if you will, for a
yes.
for
Yes.
a Tremis rifle. We just got to see one of those running in class the other
Yes.
day.
Yep. In fact, the thumbnail is of the box that one came in.
Right.
Jim Tackett, hello, sir. Maple pumpkin pie. Oh, that's maple sounds good. I don't care about the pumpkin, but maple. Scott Wexler's here.
The yeast dinner rolls with sweet honey cinnamon whipped butter. That sounds pretty dang good. Sounds like a trip to Texas Roadhouse.
I could go for a trip to Texas Roadhouse.
We should make that happen after a study group. We used to have a spot after study groups, but we moved on from our original study group location, and now we don't go to Moose's LZ.
No, the last study group we went and got pizza.
It was okay.
Mikey, hello, sir, and happy New Year back to you. Oh, the drone hunt with the nods. So that's right. Last live chat, I was going there afterwards. I think that night I saw 4, and the other night, like 2 nights ago, I saw 1, and it was really low, like super low, and it was going very slowly over the industrial park. Like it wasn't whipping around like I've like seen cool drone pilots do, but and it was like 2:30 in the morning. I have no fucking clue what it was doing. Noah Bertner, hello, sir.
Noah, I like that guy. He's pretty.
Yeah. Oh, there's Becky. Popped in. She said that we go for pizza because we're cool.
We were the cool kids. Last Tremis event of 2024.
Yeah. Ran it right up to what was it, like the 29th of December?
Yep.
Like I remember seeing posts from different trainers pretty much from November, the beginning of November on, like different people saying, that's a wrap. And I was like, shit, I still got like 2 months to go. Who scheduled this bullshit?
That'd be you.
Oh, yeah.
Eight Lug Garage. Oh, that's Gabe, right?
Yes.
Yes. 6 Midwest boxes. How many hands do you have at any one time? Got one in each hand, one slung on the back, another one slung on the front. That's still only 4.
Yeah. Well, and Becky's got 2 hands. They got a bunch of kids too. No, they got like 14 kids or something. All boys. That's how I remember it. I don't know if that's true. Scott says I should fire my scheduler. In fact, I should. In fact, my scheduler just scheduled more shit for 2025 this afternoon. Like things this afternoon got added. 4 more days of stuff were added to the schedule this afternoon. I guess at some point I'll make that announcement of what that is.
Your scheduler is way too damn aggressive. I can say for that, because trying to weave things in between Tremis classes is sometimes rather difficult.
Yeah, at some point you got to go, fuck it, I'm just going to do a thing and it'll overlap.
Oh, that's already happened.
Yeah.
Crystal Mrs. Moose's. I do too.
So I was telling Mike the other day that what did Jen make? Chicken. She made chicken and macaroni and cheese. And I took some of the gold. It wasn't even Cattleman's gold barbecue sauce. It was somebody else's gold, Sticky Fingers or something. It's close. And I put the chicken on the mac and cheese and then put that on it. So it was a lot like the brisket mac and cheese, just had chicken instead of brisket. And as soon as I took a bite of a protein with mac and cheese and that barbecue sauce on, I went right back to Moose's. Like I felt like I was sitting in Moose's.
Noah says he needs to add Tremis to his calendar. I think he's referring to the 7 Syndicate range calendar, which I agree. we weren't going to say anything. We weren't going to put you on the spot, but being that you brought it up, Noah,
Yeah,
I
I
think
just assumed that I was like, well, I'm not wanted there.
obviously you don't like Gary, but that's
Yeah,
cool. I mean,
yeah.
that I understand. Don't
There's a
worry.
whole lot of people, so like I totally get it. Or no one might be like, no, I mean, I think you're pretty cool, but my wife hates you. Wouldn't be the first wife that hated me.
Well, you did try really hard to get Jess to hate you.
I worked at it.
You worked at it.
I said things to her that I would never say to someone because she said she wasn't offendable.
Right.
I'm like, well, I take that as a challenge.
Oh, Jess is on here too.
Oh, look at that. We were talking about her, and there she is. It's
Gary
almost
is
like
pretty
if you say her name 3 times in a mirror.
Well, Jess, just to point this out, you might be talking about a different Gary because we have had to make stipulations before between 1R Garys and 2R Garys.
Yes. I'm
And
2 R's away from gay, so
yeah, he's 2R Gary.
there's that.
Yeah.
Actually, I believe I was talking to Noah some time back about like how late he can get away with shooting at his place, because then maybe we could run the master class in PA again without having to go all the way down to Ben Franklin, which I don't want to do. It's so far.
It is the farthest. I'm going there. I'm going there in February.
And people should go with you.
Yes. You've taken the class that I'm going to. I'm going to Small Unit Shoot House. Is that the name of it?
Something like that.
Small Unit CQB.
Yeah, that sounds better.
I gotta hold on. Let me double check the name of that. It's Small Unit CQB, February 22nd and 23rd.
My birthday.
Yes, it is your birthday. You're 51st.
51. Yep.
Wow.
Fucking old. I will be in Kentucky, so there is no reason why a whole bunch of dudes up here aren't free to go with you.
That's true. No conflicts that weekend for Tremis.
Yep. All the Warrior Lodge guys that are like, but I've already paid for a different class. Not that weekend.
Nope. And let's see. I know we've got at least 3 or 4 guys went from our crew up here in Pennsylvania when you went.
Yeah, that one had 3. And a month earlier, when we were down there for Green Line, we had
5 of us.
7 total, if you count Scott and John, who didn't go with us, but we
ran into them anyway.
Yeah.
That was like a CQB month right there. I missed the OTG one, and I've been regretting it ever since, because I know a bunch of that stuff kind of got incorporated into the fish curriculum as well.
Yes.
And the methodology that we use. So I've learned some of it, but I want to get it from the guys that kind of brought it. And
they're really good at what they do.
Yeah. I love their videos, and like the amount of information they've put out for free to the world is like, it deserves a class. Like, I'm freely like, yep, here, take my money. It's great.
They asked her like, hey, so what brought you over here? Like, what made you pick this class with us? Where it was what did we do to lure you in? And I said, well, you put out a lot of content, which makes it easy to find you. I said, but what lured me in was that they so strongly believe in a rising tide raises all ships. Other instructors are not their competition. They just want the whole training community to do better, which means the training industry they don't view as their opponents. And I was like, yep, I was sold on that, because I've seen the uglier side of the training industry, and that totally feel that way. So I'm sold on dudes that believe wholeheartedly in the rising tide methodology, I guess we'll call it.
Yeah, and they're bringing a shit ton of stuff to Ben Franklin Range. Like, I think they have like a whole like vested program with like they have a monthly membership thing that.
Yep, I saw some of the details of it. Was like, man, that looks awesome. It's so far away.
Yeah. So I think
it's still in Pennsylvania, but I can get to every state but Ohio much quicker than I can get to that range.
right. So I'm looking forward to it.
I think you'll totally love it.
But I'm looking for people to come take the ride with me. So if anybody out there is interested, want to learn some cool shit, and it's really not an expensive class. It's $400 for the weekend.
Oh, that's a damn good deal.
Yeah, it's a steal. And no ammo.
Yeah,
Well, of course on paper. So like there's no ammo cost.
Yeah, you can't beat that at all. All right. So, I talked to some other folks today, which I think warrants some announcement. We have 2 new presenters for the muster. Josh Prince, lawyer extraordinaire. He is one of the biggity muckety mucks at Prince Law Firm. He is going to be, I think, don't hold me to this, we just talked today about it, doing a classroom seminar on post-shooting incident protocol. Was that you?
It was. Actually, It was Calvin is texting me about SHOT Show.
Oh, nice. Oh, I have something to mention about SHOT Show with you as well. Josh Masters, hello, sir. So yeah, Josh Prince, if you own a gun and live in the Keystone State, you need to know Josh Prince. So a good time to meet him would be at the muster when he talks about things you should do after you've had to use your pistola on somebody. And, like call 911 and then shut the fuck up and have Josh Prince on retainer. That's my short list. I assume we'll go a little more in depth than that.
Yeah, somehow he's going to stretch that out to 45 minutes.
Yeah, well, he has 90, so.
Oh, even better.
He's a lawyer. He's got to be able to talk for 90 minutes. And actually, like, he's a good litigator. Like, he argues like a motherfucker. So I enjoy talking with Josh because he is good at debating and dialogue. And I am mildly adequate at that myself.
He is, I think the right word is prolific.
Mm. And like when you have a stance on something and you're like, all right, he's going to play devil's advocate here in a moment. I like that he often comes from a direction that you weren't prepared to defend against, because that's what smart lawyers do.
Mm-hmm.
But so he is coming. And also the other person I talked to today was Joel Levan from Radius Factor. And he is going to be over in the combatives area on the side of the classroom there at the muster. And I think at this point, he's probably going to do something on Saturday and then something else on Sunday. But one of the 2 days is going to be knife shit. And the other day is going to be stick shit. Like whacking a motherfucker with a stick. His specialty comes from, and I'm probably going to fuck all this up, Pakiti Tertia, which is a Filipino martial art. And I don't know if that's how it's pronounced because I've only ever really read it, other than when Joel has mentioned it to me, but like he doesn't reference it a whole lot. That's a good question. I'll get back to that in a second. But when I spent some time with him and he was showing me what his martial art was all about, there was a couple of things I really enjoyed. Their movement is very heavily movement based, but the movements are all, from what I can gather, because I'm by far not an expert on that, very angular. So like they work on like an X. So everything has some lateral movement to it, even when it's going forward or backwards. And I'm a big fan of lateral movement. I think everybody knows that. They don't do like traditional, I square off with my bad guy and my martial art moves forward towards him or backs away. Everything's based off of like an X. Or not everything, but a lot apparently. And the other thing is they don't focus on defending from attacks. The what Joel kept stressing was you attack their attack. And I was like, oh, now we're talking like my kind of language, because I'm not a defense minded kind of fella. So I enjoyed the stuff that Joel did with me. And so I was like, hey, this dude would be great. And he said he's in, and it's his birthday one of those days. So like we'll have cake or something.
Nice. That's awesome. Seeing new trainers join the muster.
Yep. I think the format this year will allows us to have a little more room for dudes. So it also means that each block will be smaller, which I think on both the instructor and the student end, they will appreciate that, because there's more chance for some interaction. And being 90 minutes instead of 45 minutes, more time to cover stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
I did want to mention I'm building out the fish calendar for the second half of the year. Fish 1, 2, 3, and 3.5, or 3.5.
3.5. How did we get to 3? How did we get to half sizes already?
I know, like I wasn't sure how that happened. But I had to postpone Fish 4 for logistical reasons, but I already had the shoot house. So I had shit that I wanted to add anyway, and we made it 3.5. So we're running the first one July 11th, which I think is like a week and a half from now, and another one in the second half, or probably in December, because I want to do one a month again after the muster's over. August, the month of the muster, there won't be a fish anywhere. But then starting in September, like September, October, November, December, do Fish 1, Fish 2, Fish 3. Fish 3.5, which there is one coming up, is obviously, for those that aren't aware, Fish 1 is solo, Fish 2 is duo, Fish 3 is low light with white lights. So 3.5 is all three of those things. But we're also going to add pistols transitions. We're going to add a third guy, a fourth guy, and some introduction to diversionary devices. So we'll get some flashbang simulators, and we'll do some pistol stuff. And the idea also is this is an opportunity to wear all of your cool guy outfit, because I know in most of the fishes you can always wear all that stuff, but most people don't. They run a little more slick. But if you want to move around the shoot house with gear on, I'm just telling everyone this is the class I recommend we do it in. So yeah, that's the 3.5. But my point is, with September, October, November, and December, me trying to get some dates, some Saturdays to run those. If anybody wants travel stuff, if you live in like the northern half of this country, I might be able to squeeze a weekend in September. And if you live in the southern half of the country where it's fucking hot, I might be able to squeeze something in November. So at end of the year, if you would like Tremis Dynamics to come to you, those are what we're looking at, and you should fucking jump on the ball before I start filling those weekends with fish classes.
Listen, I'm predicting it now. By the end of 2025, there's going to be like Fish 16,
Possibly.
Fish 28. Like there's going to be like you're just going to keep adding on to this fish.
Yep.
every Tremis Dynamics offering will be fishing in some way.
It could be. If I had my own shoot house,
yeah, that would be every day would be fishing.
Yep, we would have fish workshops that number higher than our study groups. Mm-hmm. And the last study group was study group 73. Right. So like in 1 year, we would probably have more than that, because I'd be like, hey, it's Wednesday, and who wants to go to the shoot house?
We'd have Wednesday night fights.
Yep. We could do the fights right before the live chat.
Right. You could have a whole peanut gallery of people.
Yep. We could talk about what we did in that fish workshop. Oh man, sounds awesome. We need our own shoot house. I guess since that's kind of talking about scheduling, it goes into the other big announcement, which has been in the works since 2018, probably, and then got just pushed to the back. And then, oh no, it says he will take the end of September for something. So there we go. Perfect. We'll chat. Obviously not during a live stream, but we'll figure that out. Oh, Chuck Peoples is here. Hello, sir. I know we haven't met, but we should at some point.
Chuck's awesome. You'd like him.
So for folks that live in the southern half, the warm part of the country, if you're looking for November, aka those Texas guys, if you're listening, if you think in November, get on the horn with me, and at least, like, we don't have to work out a lot of details, but if we're gonna at least pick a fucking weekend, I can start scheduling shit around it. But October is off the books because I scheduled something in October earlier today. So on the evening of Friday, October 10th, and all of the 11th and the 12th will be the first running of Dynamic Instructor.
So is that where we learn to go be like, we move around real quick?
Well, you walk and talk at the same time.
Yeah.
Which that is a thing of mine. Like, I can't even talk on the phone without pacing. So
dynamic, non-static.
So this will be an instructor class on being a mildly adequate instructor. That's a question that maybe Mike can answer.
Trying to get my armed Sora license in New Jersey. I have to get my CCW first? ?
Is that some type of security license?
Is this I guess a Sora license is like a professional license in Jersey?
I don't know.
No idea.
Like, kind of like Pennsylvania's Act 235.
I guess so, but when I was in Jersey, I'd never heard of any type of armed professional type specific training because, well, they didn't really do anything in New Jersey when I was there. That's a good question. I don't know. I do know. I mean, thank you for reminding me though, because I just remembered I have to renew my New Jersey CCW certification or license like soon. This month I have to do that.
Oh wow. So yeah. Anyhow, the instructor class is going to be. It's going to have the most awesome handout ever. Maybe not ever, but it is going to be a 3-ring binder, and it will probably be like a fat 3-ring binder, not like a skinny one. But it won't be completely full because the idea is to have it be a continuing thing where there'll be other instructor level things that we will do later that will have smaller handouts that can then be plugged into that 3-ring binder. So we might have like a specific instructor workshop on force on force, and that might be a 10 or 12 page handout, and it'll just be 3-ring punched, and you can put it in that binder. And there's going to be like a paper cert for it as well. So I think it'll be pretty cool on the last day in the afternoon, things that the instructor students will do. They're going to create some curriculum during the course of those 3 days, and they're going to teach it to some people on Sunday afternoon. But it's not going to be like the tactical instructor class where it'll be like a very day 0 level. The students you're going to teach to will be of varying degrees, so you will have to adapt your blocks of instruction to the students that I bring to throw on the line for you. And some of them are going to be fucking awesome, and other ones are going to be pretty new with a bunch of folks in between. So I think it should be challenging and rewarding for folks that want to come up and take my instructor class.
Nice.
And then we're doing the first instructor workshop that Monday, which is Columbus Day. So
don't you mean Indigenous Peoples Day?
If you're indigenous to Spain, like Columbus.
I think he was indigenous to Italy.
Oh, was it just the Spanish fleet, or was it a Portuguese fleet?
He was Italian, and he was commissioned by Spain,
Okay.
which makes no sense. But
They really should have went to Scandinavia and got people who had already been there, but
yeah.
whatever. They're not good at taking orders or playing well with others, so I can understand.
Yeah, they'd show up in Scandinavia, and all of a sudden they wouldn't have ships anymore.
The bunch of Vikings like, man, these boats are big.
Yeah, we could go all the way across again.
Let's go the other direction.
How do you row this thing?
We're gonna need some slaves.
Good thing all these Spanish showed up in these ships.
That's how we row it. We row it with Spaniards.
Was he Portuguese, Mark? I could be wrong. I would, if he's not Italian, I have no idea why all the Italians give such a huge shit about Columbus. Like,
I didn't even know the Italians did.
Oh yeah, Columbus Day is huge.
Oh,
for the Italian culture.
All right. Do I have anything else in my notes that we needed to chat about? Oh, I found out something awesome. So I had the fellas at First Wave make me a 1911 outside the waistband holster for a non-railed 1911, which I got one of those as a gift last year. I tried sticking a Browning high power in it, and it works. So now I have a Browning high power holster as well. So for folks out there, it's possible that you may own a Browning high power that may fit in a 1911 holster. And I'm willing to wager anybody that owns a high power already owns a 1911 as well.
I think the chances are quite high.
But yeah, and then I also got to see the new First Wave sticker, which well, actually, I got a pile of the new First Wave stickers, the old green poison face. So I got 50 of those, I think, in my office. So as I sell holsters on the website, I'm going to put one of those in every holster order, any First Wave order, until I run out of them. And speaking of stickers, I got a new sticker coming that I designed myself. Mike has seen it. Mike and Andrew are the only two people who have seen it so far. This crowd will probably really get a kick out of it. And the only foreshadowing I'm going to give you is when they get here, I'm going to take one of them for myself and I'm going to put it on my shot timer. It's a very fitting shot timer sticker. And but you all will see it. It's supposed to be here Saturday. So follow the Instagrams and stuff, and you'll get a chance to see the sticker. The moment it comes in, I will post a picture of it.
TJ, yes, it is band practice day, if you can hear it in the background. Also, why I'm up in the office.
Oh, we could have had a fucking soundtrack if you were down in the Bulletin Studios.
Yeah, they were. They're pretty dang good.
I saw them on the. I didn't see them on the live stream. I saw them after it was live on the live stream. And I thought they were pretty good.
They're awesome. They so the band name is Midsummer. My wife is the bassist, and they are playing the PPL Center on January 18th. That's why they're practicing right now. They're in like big practice mode, like 2 a week. And for this gig, it's crazy because it's like an 8-minute or 9-minute gig or something like that, because it's in a hockey arena at a hockey game. So a lot of people. And yeah, so if you're in the Allentown area of Pennsylvania, you should come out to the hockey game on January 18th. Come check out the Midsummer band. They'll be playing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's not a little venue at all.
No. I think their stage like overlooks the ice. I'm not 100% sure, so I think like everyone will be able to see them in the arena. It's not intimidating at all.
No, not in the least bit. I'm rolling back through the comments because there was a question I wanted to address, because we have 2 questions that were sent in for the day. Josh Masters mentions that Josh Prince is a great role player, and yes, he is. He carries a lot of the role playing burden on for Adeptus Pistol. I'm scrolling back up. Hey, Becky said I didn't look a day over 48.
I don't know. I've seen some of those pictures of you a few years ago, and I'd say you definitely look a bit over 40.
I think so too.
I remember. I still get surprised when I see pictures of you with like color in your beard.
Yep, I had all of them too. There was blonde and red and brown and black, and a couple of whites. And now the whites were just like, yeah, we're gonna take over. It's almost like the whites represent Middle Easterners in England. They just pushed all the other ones out. God damn, I didn't even remember who asked the question. I remember saying, what a great question. I want to come back to that. And now I can't find it up there. I think I scrolled too far. I feel like such a turd. Well, whoever asked it, if you ask it again, I planned to answer it. Oh, Mark Curtis. Speaking of 911, is anyone aware of a 911 call simulator for that situation? No, I'm not aware of it, but man, do I wish somebody made it.
I think the best 911 call simulator is having Jay Gibson stand next to you while you practice into a fake phone.
Yes, and he says, "This is 911. What is your emergency?" Although Calvin's really good at it too.
Also, Calvin. They're the two that I emulate whenever I am the instructor in a role playing scenario.
Yep, same. I'm like, what would those guys say here? I'll say that, and it's always a hit. All right, so I guess we can get to the two big questions that people actually typed up. I will go look and make sure nobody else typed one. I did see in the comments somewhere in there, Tony Gallo said hello, so hello back to him as well.
Oh, Tony.
I'm drinking one of Tony's beverages as we speak, a blueberry flavored cider.
I like him. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he makes me smile. Video live chat. I don't want. Nope. I don't want to hear the live chat. I want. Why is it playing that? I don't want it. Oh, it's down here. Okay. At least now I can see how far away the fucking delay is. Event. Discussion. Nope, nobody else posted questions. All right. So, two big questions. You'll love this first one. Crystal has some information there.
Call taker protocols.
Maybe she would like
super interesting information presented in the most boring way humanly possible.
Maybe she could present something on that at the muster.
That's what
she
I'm
could
thinking.
be the simulator. So here are big questions. Big questions. First one. I had to paraphrase this because when someone sent it to me, I don't remember if it was like a Signal message or a Facebook message or an Instagram message, who the fuck it came from. So I couldn't copy and paste it. But basically what I got, I'm going to, for the paraphrasing, did you hear that you and Fiore had a falling out and he's teaching his own shit now? Which, if I recall correctly, the last time you were on the live chat, we literally, that was the point of the live chat, was to tip that out.
Yep, we had a falling out. This has obviously all been a farce. All of the camaraderie that we show every time has nothing to do with the fact that we like each other and support each other.
Nope, it was just to get my molecules.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've just been leeching off of you, riding the coattails the last 4 years, 2 years, however long it's been.
Speaking of coattails, that was the other thing. You have, for the duration of the live chat, which is now much less because I forgot to mention this earlier, to convince me to move the needle for going to SHOT Show, because while it was at a steady 10% chance of me going, in the last few days there's been a little flutter, and it may have even peaked up at like 13%. And I was like, well, there's a weakness. Like there's a chink in the armor. This is where Mike can dive in and attack.
Well, let's see.
You only got to push it to 100 in order for me to
100.
just to get on Southwest and fucking buy a ticket.
Well,
I have a free ticket, so it's not like I'd be out any money.
Well, then what the fuck else are you going to use it for? That's number one. You drive everywhere else with purpose. So it's not like you'll ever just go on a whim. You know, Jen's not going to convince you to go somewhere on a plane. I'm the only one that has that power, apparently.
And only the one place.
Only Las Vegas.
Which I hate with a passion.
if this is probably the biggest piece, Calvin will be there.
That's pretty good reason.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's I did get confirmation that he will be there. That's I'm excited about that. We have an Airbnb that is not, as far as I can tell this time, in a homeless encampment.
Well, you know, maybe that's a downgrade, because I did enjoy the hobo camp.
It's nearby, but it is not. It's in a more convenient location than last year. We have the lodging with 5 people, plenty of room.
Do I like those 5 people?
I'm sure you like Lewis.
Well, that's only one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the other guys are Lewis's crew from Tactical Response.
Do I know any of them?
You met Thad.
I did meet Thad.
And the other guy, Adam, I've never met, but he seems pretty cool. So.
Okay. And you, I assume.
And Max.
And Max.
So,
Max.
Yeah. That, I mean, you know, you might have to deal with Max for the week, so that's a little.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know if Calvin offsets a Max.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, definitely not size-wise.
I know Max is big and strong, but Calvin's probably stronger. And I say that because I've been in a room where Jay, Jordan, and Calvin were all working out at the same time. And all of us looked at Calvin like, how the fuck does he do that?
Mm.
And, you know, Jay has some level of strength that's inhuman. And Jordan literally is the Incredible Hulk. And like everyone looked at Calvin with, how the fuck? That dude is retard strong.
Let's see what else. I've made contact with Curtis at VSO. We are doing the alumni gathering dinner.
In the same place?
Yeah, it's probably going to be the same place.
Well, so, you know, the Fogo de Chao has figured out that I only go there during SHOT Show because I don't hear anything from them like, hey, we missed you, come back, until like 2 weeks ago, and I get an email like every other day now.
Yeah, I do have reservations made at Fogo de Chao already for like 12 people. I don't even know who those 12 people are, but I was just like, I'll just make a reservation.
Yep.
Yeah, and you get to. I mean, okay, so this is the real reason. You get to spend a whole week with me.
Well, there is that.
You know, that can go hit or miss sometimes. But hey, you know, it's what I'm working with here.
Well, the good news is when you irritate me, I just walk away.
That's true. You've done it before.
And then when everybody else goes, "Where's Gary? Is he all right?" He's fine. Leave him go. He'll show up when he's in a better mood.
And okay, here's the thing, which I know you know is the reason. You can make 3 years worth of professional contacts, see all of your friends that you barely get to see ever in the span of a few days, and make headway in furthering your business and personal life.
I did negotiate a contract for a signature rifle last year.
Yeah, that was pretty huge, and you got insider information that you couldn't even tell about tell anybody about for like 8 months,
I know.
which I know just tickles you to no end.
I do enjoy when that happens. The sad part is sometimes I learn things I'm not supposed to talk about and I forget about them, so I can't even lord them over people until like the world knows. And I go, oh, that's right. I've known about that for like 3 months and I forgot. Shit. Yeah, all the 1301 parts, everyone's like, I'm going to get this for my Beretta. And I'm like, well, I wouldn't. And that was all I would say.
Yeah, I don't know what else I can. I mean, like, I don't know what else I need to say. Like, it's pretty self-evident. Like, you're in this industry, you should probably go to SHOT Show. Like, you taught me that. Like,
yeah. I was trying to drag somebody new and that hadn't been there, but the folks I had in mind didn't want to go. So
yeah. We tried getting Andrew.
Yep, I tried getting Andrew. I tried getting Matt Wyke. Yeah. Not that he needs me to get him in.
No. But I think he'd enjoy the week of, you know, the guided experience. You know, there's a lot of people.
I would have at least got him some introductions to folks that he could have got something working with.
And I have no doubt that Matt Wyke would go there and then come out more successful than any of us have ever been in terms of like actually having professional content. Yeah.
All right, so well, you still got some time, I guess, to work on that.
I guess I haven't peaked the needle yet, but
no, you haven't dwarf whispered well enough this evening.
Yeah, the puppet mastery, the puppet mastering hasn't set in yet.
Yeah, I haven't swallowed the hook. So the other question that came in was, and this wasn't a very detailed question so I don't know what angle they were looking at, was, what is your take on the health guy CEO and or shooter? So we're going to rewind, I guess, a few weeks here with that.
Right.
And not any of the more recent violent activities that have happened in the last 48 hours or so. So my biggest take on it, my initial reaction, well, I guess not initial. Initial was I saw the video and went, well, that guy's not a professional. Unless he's so professional, he's trying to make it look like an amateur so that nobody will look for him.
Right.
And I was like, nobody's that smart. Like dudes that are that smart don't get picked up on camera. Was my take on it. And I kind of just was like, yeah, I don't know. Shit happens, I guess. Violence in a big city. Shocker. And then they caught the guy, fucking 6 hours away in Altoona or something. And they're like, yeah, the McDonald's worker reported him. And then, then later, like, oh, we think it was a customer, reported it to the worker, and the worker called the sheriff or fucking who knows what. And I was like, snitches get stitches. And like, I'm not big on snitching. I am fine with being a good witness. However, the snitch, I'm going to throw that in air quotes because you'll understand why in a minute, didn't witness shit. So, like, they weren't being a witness. They were just being a snitch. And then the internet went fucking stupid with that. And we're like, so you support murder? I'm like, you can be against just, assassinating people and against snitches all at the same time. Like, you don't have to support murder in the streets if you don't like snitches. So that was my initial like hot take on all that. But afterwards, my thoughts as I like mauled them over, I saw an article that said, hey, the snitch may not get the reward money because they didn't call the right phone number. And I was like, that money doesn't matter to the people who are paying it. Like, it's not like someone's trying to like, aha, I'm not giving you that 50 grand. It's 50 grand and it's government money. Like, nobody worries about spending fucking.
And they don't get to keep it if like, it's like
exactly
unlimited coffers anyway.
They just print whatever they need. So then my my tinfoil hat guy on my shoulder said, "Hey, bro, there is no snitch. If Because if they pay a snitch, then they have to name the snitch, and I don't think there is a snitch. I think either, and it could go whatever direction, that dude was a patsy and picked from before the shooting to be the fall guy for it, or they use some other type of IDing / tracking technology to find that guy, and they don't want us to know what they used, because then we would start trying to find ways to, we being the populace,
Mm-hmm.
to thwart it." So their answer is, well, it was an anonymous tip, or it was a tip, not remain anonymous, because if they don't pay the guy, they'll never have to release his name. So I'm thinking that there was no snitch, and that the snitch calling the wrong number, it was a way to not out the actual plan behind it.
That makes sense to me.
Like, I have guys say, "You use Signal? You know the NSA owns that, right? And they can read all your messages." And I said, "Okay, because I'm not doing anything that the NSA gives a fuck about on Signal. And if I did talk about, like, I'm going to go, spray paint graffiti downtown on Signal, the NSA isn't going to burn their most lucrative intelligence gathering uh, device ever to arrest me for spray painting graffiti downtown. So I'm not concerned that anything I use Signal for would ever that the NSA would be like, I read your message, because they don't want to go to court and testify that they found me through Signal, because they have a back door. So I was like, yeah, let them read whatever they want. I'm of no interest to them, and they won't waste it on me.
I highly doubt that the actual service of Signal itself, or any of those, like, WhatsApp, Telegram, like whatever the ones are that add some level of encryption / signal, security, whatever. I highly doubt that they in themselves get hacked. It's so much easier for them just to exploit the end user, or the end user's device. Like,
Yeah.
put a Trojan on a phone, and
Well, the argument wasn't that people have said to me wasn't that, like, Signal got hacked.
right.
That Signal is just on NSA servers, and it's NSA coders who wrote it,
Oh,
because
well,
it's not open source, and that's why that's the theory, is it's not why it's not open source, is because
that's interesting.
it's just a
It's
government owned.
it's totally just a plant from the
Yep.
government.
Which is why it can be successful and be nonprofit, because
Oh, that's a good point.
and I went, well, that part all kind of makes sense. Again, they're still not going to waste it on anything I would ever do.
Yeah. But yeah, that whole thing was interesting. Like, I remember seeing that same video that you did. Like, the one thing that popped in my head, I'll remember this. Like, the very first time I watched it, I saw him raise the gun with the silencer on it, and then as soon as he broke the shot, the gun points low left, and he in the I think it was the lower left leg, and I went, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like,
Yep.
I'm like, there's nothing about that is surprising to me whatsoever, and I immediately thought that guy is somebody who took a shot at a human for the first time. Like,
And bought a fucking can off of, like, Timu or something, because it didn't work. Like, it didn't make the gun didn't function with the can on it.
now, as for the actual act itself, man, I'm gonna defer to that. What, like, like, murder's wrong, but so is exploiting humans for profit.
Yep.
So, at the end of the day, there's a moral gray area in there. No one can stand on any high ground and say, yes, this guy is wrong, or this guy is wrong. I bet you you can. That's probably a great debate of the ages of, like, how evil is that guy? Yeah, he didn't pull a trigger on anybody, but, like, I guarantee you, as a CEO of a healthcare organization, he has made immoral, unethical
Yep.
decisions.
And folks have to realize that things that are legal and things that are moral, uh, they're not diametrically opposed, but they rarely overlap. Uh, And if you do immoral things and that are legal or illegal, somebody else may feel that they need to repay you with immoral things, whether legal or illegal. So if you don't factor in the legalities and just go, well, you did something immoral, and somebody that was affected by that did something immoral back to you, then it's a wash. If you just look at it legally speaking, and it has nothing to do with morality, then it's just whether you're like, following the rules or not following the rules. Like you're only basing it on rule following. And like I have mentioned this before, like the United States doesn't have a justice system; they have a legal system, because in order for someone to get justice, the victim has to administer the punishment. Otherwise, justice was not served; the law was served, because it doesn't do anything for the victim, for the perpetrator to get in trouble by somebody else. That's happenstance. They don't get justice unless they make it, even the books or balance the books, I guess is the term. So in essence, like, I don't even know if this dude's a fucking victim of anything. I don't even know if this dude's the actual fucking shooter. But if he wasn't a victim and he's just making a political statement, that's straight up just simple definition of terrorism. And not really terrorism, because he's not changing political policy, because CEOs don't write political policies. Something clicked off a mic. Maybe he clicked off. Did you click off?
My browser refreshed and kicked
I
me out.
clicked you back on.
Yeah. Thanks for looking out for me, though, Adam.
Yeah, I was looking at the fucking chat screen, not at the.
Gary was so focused on what he was saying.
But when Adam said we lose Mike, I looked down and went, "Oh, we did." So yeah, so my point there was that if he was a victim of what this guy did, then maybe he was serving justice, although he wasn't doing it within the law, and the law never serves justice, because the law is administered by the state, and the state cannot be a victim. So the victim never gets justice in the legal system. That's my take on that.
Yeah. The only other thing that I took away from this whole thing, which is totally a silly thing to take away, is that Altoona is nowhere that I'm proud to have as part of Pennsylvania, because it has snitches in it, and somebody very rightfully brought up the fact that Altoona is known for a pizza style that has American cheese on it. And like, so far of the two things that I know Altoona for, neither one of them are redeeming.
Is it called Altoona style pizza?
It sure is. And it looks absolutely disgusting.
That sounds as bad as actual tuna on pizza.
Right.
Because there's like 3 types of pizza. And there's New York, Sicilian, and in Chicago. Like, anything else has got to be some type of abomination.
Well, aren't you a fan of Detroit pizza?
Well, the Detroit pizza is just Chicago style.
Isn't that like a pan pizza, like a Detroit?
It's a pie.
It's a pie? Yeah. Because Chicago's pretty good. It's not pizza. To me, it's casserole, but it's not pizza. It's still good, though.
It is fantabulous. I prefer it because the part of the pizza I could get rid of is the crust.
You just want all the stuff on the inside.
Yeah, the crust is there so I can hold it. Otherwise, I have to drink it while it's molten.
Otherwise, it's just really soft and meat.
So yeah, the ingredient to crust ratio is what I like about Chicago style.
That could be the other thing to get you to SHOT Show. We can go back to that pizza place we went to last time.
Oh, that was really good pizza.
It was really good pizza.
That was fucking awesome.
I
think it's the only time I ever videoed pizza and put it on the social media.
It was definitely a highlight of day one, or whatever day it was at SHOT
Yeah, whichever day. Huh. Move my needle. Move my needle, Mike. Your magic is working.
Oh. What
All
else
right.
we got?
I covered everything I needed to cover. So, but you know what? It kind of goes back to the other thing. The first question that are falling out. So
Oh,
you've
yeah.
got classes scheduled. When and where are they?
So I do have classes scheduled. I've got 3 so far for 0 point training. Um, I have 2 out at Noah's Place, 7 Syndicate Range in Brookville. So those are March 22nd and 23rd. The 22nd is Radio 1,
Mhm.
pretty much the exact the porting over, if you will, of Day Zero Radio.
Mhm.
Actually, we've had a couple of names for it. It's been like the Radio Ops Primer, Day Zero Radio. Now it's called Radio 1. So that'll be on the 22nd of March. And then I'll have my first shotgun live fire class, Shotgun 1, on March 23rd, also at Noah's Place.
Awesome.
Yep.
You may see me for that one.
Hopefully, I would enjoy having friends there for kind of the first classes put under the 0 point flag. And
Now the question is, do you want me to come support you like a good friend would, or do you want me to come support you like a close friend would?
as man, as close as we've become these last few years, it's you just let me have it. Like whatever, both barrels, man.
Because like the first time I went to Fighting Shotgun, and we did the intros and stuff, and then Tim says, "Anybody got any questions?" And I said, "Yeah. When do we learn how to do that one-handed racking like Sarah Connor does?" That's how we started the class, with that as the very first question. Which I don't know if any of you are out there are aware in the internet world, but the Fighting Shotgun nor Advanced Fighting Shotgun ever approaches that subject.
So basically, you would do exactly what I do whenever you teach classes.
Yes. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
all right. So now we know.
Yeah. I just throw zingers from the back and try to trip you up every time that you make jokes.
It works.
Yeah. So yeah, that'll be Shotgun 1, and then for specifically because I wanted to get a radio class on the books, Eastern PA, close to and before Wolverine Warfare weekend,
Mhm.
because there will be. I mean, for those that aren't aware, like that's going to be a real pinnacle of this year is that weekend. Like we have a
Yep.
bunch of trainers coming to the area. We have there'll be multiple trainers giving blocks of instruction in a scenario based weekend environment. It'll be awesome. There will be the need for you to communicate if you're in that class with other students. And there will be no blocks of instruction in that class on how to use radios.
Correct.
However, if you've taken any of the Tremis Dynamics radio classes or obviously the 0 point classes, those will give you the building blocks that you need to be able to do what you need to do that weekend.
Yeah.
It's not going to make you like an RTO. It's not going to be like, oh, I'm the comms guy, but it will give you a working level of proficiency that you can use with the other students in the class to be able to communicate farther than yelling distance.
Yeah.
Which
So
is going
like
to be
I know some of the guys that have signed up have done Day Zero Radio. And I don't think any of I would call an expert. Like I don't think their level of skill is enough to take somebody new who hasn't touched a radio and get them up to speed for the weekend.
Yeah.
So coming to see you in the weeks before that would probably be the ticket for that, because while 0 point actual will be at Wolverine Warfare, one of the few rules will be, Mike, you are not allowed to fix the fucking students' radio problems. If they have them, that's on them.
Yeah, that'll be a real challenge for me, but that's my, like, even without you telling me that was going to be something, I'm like, no, I can't do that weekend. Like,
Yeah.
if we're trying to get people into the mindset of being able to fix this shit on their own, removing me or you from the situation of giving them answers is key to the learning environment. So,
Yep.
but I'm more than willing to have the class beforehand. And, I know there's been a lot of people that have asked about those classes in previous years. So now that I can, I'm scheduling them without having to necessarily be in line with all the other Tremis classes. It's a little bit easier to kind of get those on the books, and it's a class that travels well. So if anybody has any interest in bringing a class to a specific location, a specific day, it's an easy one for me to bring it to a location. So there's going to be a class on April 27th here in the Allentown area. So depending on the size of the class, I'll find a proper classroom for it, but that'll be about 2 to 3 weeks before the actually, no, I think it's almost a month before the Wolverine Warfare, because that's
Perfect.
like Memorial Day weekend. So we'll have that, and more classes coming. I've already been in talks with reaching out to the Range and Sugarloaf to see if I can get some dates on the calendar to keep putting some more dates on there throughout the year.
Perfect.
Yeah. Oh, and just to throw this out there too, once we get enough students that have gone through the Radio 1 program, the Radio 1 class curriculum, there will be a Radio 2. There has been a curriculum kind of in the works for the last year or so, since actually 2 years, since the first muster of some advanced topics. So that will be actually, there's probably a 3-day curriculum in there somewhere. So I've got definitely Radio 2 planned. I'll start offering that hopefully later this year, and then maybe even Radio 3 into 2026.
Oh, that sounds good. Like good stuff.
Yeah, just keep building on it.
Awesome. So perfect. Where can people find these classes at?
You can find them at gozeropoint.com.
I believe our moderator is still floating around. Maybe she could share a link.
I can let's see. Boom. Look at that. I am also a moderator.
Yes, you are. Perfect. Sometimes when I have a guest on here, I forget that they don't have moderator powers and they can't type a link. And I'm like, oh, I'll type it for you.
Well, as a guest, I can't even do it in Restream. I actually have had the YouTube window up on another monitor.
You and your fancy with multiple monitors.
I'm the tech guy. I gotta, let me tell you, it comes in handy sometimes, like the fact that I was able to throw a website together in like a week, and not have to like scramble to understand how to do a bunch of stuff. And I'm pretty like, luckily I've had a lot of experience with design and making web type things and organizing stuff, so it came together pretty quickly. But man, I do have a whole newfound respect for all those trainers out there that like look at that thing for the first time and go, I don't know how to do, like what do I do next? How does this thing come together? How am I going to get people to like, see my classes? It's rough.
Yeah, I agree. Having done it on multiple formats, because I originally was on Square and it didn't do a bunch of things I wanted it to do. So I moved to Shopify and had to start all over with learning. And then Shopify went full fucking retard. And I moved to BigCommerce and had to start all over again. And I said, if BigCommerce ever fucks me, I am going to put ads in the back of magazines where you mail a little coupon, check a box for what class you want.
A BRC, a business reply card. And
yep.
You're going to have like, Recoil magazine, open up the pages, it just flutters out onto the floor.
Yep.
You step on it because you hate it.
Yep. Fuck the internet. Are your classes also available to find on bulletin.net?
Of course.
If not, you should really check into that. It's a great website, a wonderful resource for to put instructors and students together. I don't know if you had heard of it or not, but a good buddy of mine runs it, and I've tried to support him from the very beginning with that. So
Yeah, yeah. It's sometimes, I'm terrible at promoting myself when it comes to Bulletin. Now I got to do it twice over. It's gonna be rough. So yeah, everything's on Bulletin. Actually, I spent a good amount of time this weekend. There's going to be some big updates coming to Bulletin over the next month. We're working on getting a shop up and running on there and a blog. So there'll be a good spot to kind of capture AARs and some media and stuff that people have been, so it can continue to be a resource for all trainers and all students out
Yep.
there.
I didn't know you were doing a blog on there, but my free idea for you, royalty free, we'll call it, is when you get the blog up and get an article or two on there. Uh, I, as a student, would love to see blog articles from the trainers
Mm,
who use Bulletin. Even if it was something they've already written for their own website, their own blog, their own magazine article, whatever, and just
yes.
gave you permission to reprint it. Because a guy wrote an article somewhere doesn't mean I've ever found that. And you can learn a lot about just an instructor's his vibe, like his take on things by
Hmm.
listening to him write or reading an article he wrote on whatever fucking subject. I don't care what the subject is.
Yeah.
Um, but so throwing that out there that you could put that out to the instructors, saying, hey,
Yep.
share me an article, and so people can start to get a feel for you. I would
No,
like that as a student.
that's an awesome idea. That'll definitely be happening. A good spot to kind of highlight trainers, not only in their content, things that they want to write, but also soliciting students to kind of pull together after action reports that I always found so super helpful, like reading off, like Get Off the X. Um,
Yep.
and those were specifically pointed at things at Tactical Response and hosted by Tactical Response. Having a resource where people can put AARs from all the different types of trainers that exist on Bulletin, I think would be it's a long time coming. So that's definitely something that's going to be happening soon, as well as a page where I can start selling some other things. So actually, one more plug for you. On 0 Point, I've actually started selling radios as well as part of the radio class. Um, you can do a radio add-on, but also buy them retail on the website, and
Nice.
those will be offered through Bulletin as well. So the HD2 has been solidified as the Bulletin and 0 Point radio of choice, just for all the features that it has. That's a Retivus Aliens HD2. It's the only thing I'm offering, and
I
it's
have one right over there,
yeah.
just out of frame.
And for now, it's the radio. So if people want one, they're affordable and they're way more robust than a Baofeng, and it'll come programmed with all the training frequencies that you need. And then down the line, it can be some extra stuff too. So
Will you have antennas? Steven asks.
there might be some blog articles that get written that link people to antennas. I don't have any dealership relationships set up yet with antennas, but
Not for lack of trying with at
not
least
for lack
one.
of trying. There are a few that I recommend. Actually, it'd be great if I could get hooked up with Signal stuff. They're great. They make good things. However, I also point a lot of people towards friends that I have. Radio Made Easy has a great retail experience, and they have a lot of good stuff there too. So I'm fine with like pushing sales out to other good companies too,
Right on.
and Disco 32 and
Yep.
whatever else. Even though they couldn't give us the time of day, even though we're their biggest customer in Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Um,
So Josh, the fellow who owns Disco 32, I have a voicemail from him from a couple years ago where he called and just thanked me for all of the business that I have either given him or pushed towards him from our group of people up here. Because there was some social media and then he just saw all the orders coming in and he called to thank me. And when they blew up. They started accepting applications for dealers, and Mike tried, and they gave him for whatever reason. They're like, nope. So whatever the reason was, we're like, oh well, Tremis Dynamics, they can't use that reason. So I filled out all the information and had thwarted their reasoning for not allowing Bulletin to be a dealer. And they just said, yeah, we're not looking for dealers right now. Like that was they didn't have a reason, but no thanks. And I was like, I remember the days when you used to call and thank us for all the business.
So if anybody out there has the ear of Josh at Disco 32, tell him we actually love him and everything he's done. But we'd really like to be, I'd like to be a dealer because I point so many people towards him already. I just want discounts for myself. That's all, really.
Yeah, like I'm going to tell people, hey, you should go buy the Constant Able.
Yeah.
Whether you can buy it, but I'm not going to buy it at retail and then go through all the trouble of boxing it up and mailing it to someone.
Yeah.
If there isn't like, a $5 markup for me. And if I buy it retail and add $10 to it, you shouldn't buy it from me. You should buy it from them.
Mm-hmm.
So I was willing to do the dealership and met the criteria.
Yeah. Otherwise I'll sell it, but I'll mark it up and nobody will want to. But I can get it for $25 less at Disco 32. You should.
Yeah, you should do that.
Because all you're going to do is order it from me, and I'm going to order it from them, get it here, and then ship it back out to you.
Yep.
In one box instead of multiples. Adam, to answer your question, yes, you can use this radio with a BNC adapter. That's how I run all of my radios with adapters on them.
Same.
Every time it comes in, put a BNC adapter. Actually, well, that's not true because this one actually has two adapters on it. It has a TNC adapter and then a TNC to BNC adapter on it because I prefer the my favorite antenna is the one from Disco 32. It's a TNC antenna. It's very robust. And I really like a TNC connector for antennas, but all of my antennas usually connect with BNC, so having that extra connector hasn't been too much of an issue. Because like the one in my car and a vest-mounted antenna, which I don't use much anymore, but any of my other antennas all connect with BNC, so I keep both of those adapters around.
Yep, also same. I should say I've like all my vest-mounted, my remote antennas are all BNC, and then I have those Harris style blade antennas that are come factory TNC'd. Mm-hmm. So I have to have an adapter on the radio, but not one on the antenna. So
right.
So I mix and match those. All right, I think that covers everything. We've been here for an hour and a half.
Yeah, man. I could talk radios for a whole nother hour, and that nobody wants that. So
no, but it wasn't even supposed to be a radio-centric live chat. We were talking about the new instructor class. That was my biggest note.
Yep.
Yeah, that was it. Oh, and everyone should go check out Sonny's live stream Tuesday, 8:30 Eastern time, whatever time that is out in the fucking Midwest.
And you should go check out Go Zero Point.
Yes.
GoZeroPoint.com. And bulletin.net. Those two websites.
Yeah, don't forget about that one.
My legacy and life's work. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Oh, I gotta put a link to 0 Point up on my website.
Yes. I'll send you a logo for your known affiliates.
Nope.
No?
Nope. For instructors, it's a picture of me and the other instructor.
Well, we got plenty of those.
Yep. So. I find a fine picture of us together. And I do that because when I say, hey, these are trainers we recommend, when people see a picture of me with that trainer, it isn't just like, oh, look, he went there with that guy. Like there he is with him, as opposed to just, I saw this guy on the internet and I think he's good.
Mm-hmm.
Like it makes sure that like kind of reinforces, nope, I've been in classes with this trainer. That's why I recommend them. So I'll dig up a picture of the two of us together, and it'll be one that makes me look really good and you not so much.
Not hard to do.
All right. So I guess with that, we can pop smoke and get on out of here.
Yep.
All right, everybody, take it easy, and I'll see you next Wednesday.
Adios.